Hey guys, Red3yz here, and I am on the Hermitcraft server, and today I'm going to be harvesting wool. No, I'm just getting a little bit, taking a small break from working on the project which I'm going to be doing today, and that is just up here. It is the mob trap. So yeah, I've been spending a bit of time just laying out the base and working out how it's all going to work. I've read your suggestions, and well, the only one I can remember really is to have pillars coming down from the platform there to make it all look more supported, like it's not going to topple over. But yeah, we're going to go up to the top, and I'll show you what I've got now. In the end, I had to sort of flatten everything out, and yeah. Hey guys, Red3yz here, and I am on the Hermitcraft server, currently just harvesting some wool, and yeah, just thinking about what I'm going to do with my next project, or the project I'm working on now, and that is the mob trap. So yeah, I just randomly put a base around there, sort of built that up. Oh my god, creepers. Whoa, I wasn't paying attention. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think I'm very well armed either. I do have a bow. I wish I had my fancy flame bow and all that. Oh no, no more arrows. Oh my god. Oh no, the sheep are gonna escape. Oh my god, I just started recording like 1 minute ago and it's all going wrong. That's the problem I always have when I'm recording. Suddenly I'm concentrating on what I'm trying to say, and what's happening in front of me starts to take less priority. But luckily that wasn't too big a disaster. Okay, so I got a bit distracted then. Something else happened as well. But anyways, what we're working on today is the mob trap, and yeah, there it is up there. You can see I've been putting in the base here, starting to look good. Got some, well, it's just a random shape I sort of built out. It's going to need a bunch of big trees to make it look like it's supported. I'll probably have less vines, you know, put some stringing down to stop them growing, or whatever it is I can put down. But yeah, we're going to just take a quick look from the top of this tree here. And what I want to do is sort of start thinking about the design, you know, what it's going to look like at the end. Because instead of having a very natural mob trap thing, what I've ended up doing is building a big cube. Yeah, I wanted everything to be all natural shaped. But in the end, it just made a lot more sense to build a more efficient mob trap, because I was having lots of troubles figuring out how the mobs were going to get to the center. Specifically, I was having trouble getting mobs to the center without Enderman spawning, so that's why I ended up building this cube thing in the middle. But I'm thinking, because I have it there, what I'll do is I'll sort of build a square frame around it, so I do have an actual cube, and then from the sides, or this platform, I'll sort of build up and have parts of the cube sticking out. So it's like this cube which is built into the rock, and yeah, this platform will sort of go up into a peak and then cover big chunks of the cube, but you'll still be able to see all the corners sticking out. So yeah, that's my plan, and if that doesn't go well, I can always build a better one here. So I'll probably have one on this peak and one on this peak. That is the plan. But we're going to go up there now and start looking at... Oh my god. I'm blaming that one on lag. So I haven't done any other work on the base around here really. Just because I figure it's best to get the mob trap running first. And then, you know, I'm multitasking just by being here. Anyways, to get up here, go up here, and yeah. you can see there's a big row of pistons around the edge here. And so before I get to this cube thing in the middle, what I'll do is I'll explain the original idea I had and why that isn't going to work. So originally I wanted to have a sort of, just look at this bottom here. I wanted to have mobs spawning on here, and then they would get pushed down towards the center here. So it's a very nice big pad. And the way that would work is that water would start from, from up here. It flows down, and then at this point it flows down even more and towards the center. And with this shape I have here, even this odd shape like this, water will all flow towards the center. So that was, working out well. And then I started to test it. Now the problem is I don't want Enderman in here. So this is only too high, right? These are upper half blocks here. So Enderman can't spawn in here. And the problem arises when I want to start going down these ledges here. So you can see I'm getting stuck on the next platform. So the only way I could make this design work really would be for it to only be on one level. And then somewhere around this drop here, I would need, I think, 2 rows of half blocks. I'd have to put some down on this level here. And so it started eating into the spawnable area. And because I couldn't stack it, it just wasn't worth it. And then I remembered I had another mob trap design, which I'd come up with a while ago. And it was actually very cheap and easy to build. The only problem was it required a big water basin at the bottom to collect everything. And that just happens to be what I have here. So my current thinking is, because I've done all the work for this around the edge, I will by default have water flowing from here down towards the center. And then if I want to allow Enderman to spawn, what I'll be able to do is extend all these pistons, and that will open up this lower area here, and all kinds of mobs will be able to spawn here. So Enderman will be in here, and I'll just see what happens. But by default, all these pistons are retracted, and there's a ring of redstone as well, which will control them all. So if I put a torch here, you'll see they all extend. I'll just do I'll try and do that again and get a better view. Well, that was a terrible view. This this thing's in the way, but you get the idea. So for now, you just have to imagine that this bottom part just has water flowing towards the center there. So the original idea did not work out, but I then moved on to this thing. More specifically, I moved on to this central part here, this sort of diamond shape. And I came up with this design after I'd seen Monkey Farm's Mobs on Demand trap. In fact, that's sort of what it is. Basically, it's the same thing, only a different shape. And in fact, around the edges, I have his Mobs on Demand thing, which is this outside corners. And in his trap, I think they're closer in, and all the mobs fall towards the center, or something like that. But yeah, we'll go into creative mode later, and I'll show you this trap in action. But essentially, what will happen is the dispenser there will send out some water, which will flow all the way to the edges there. Push the mobs off these central pads. At the same time, there'll be dispensers in the corner here, and they will send water out here, which will push the mobs off these sides towards the center. Now, the one worry I had with this is you can see that I am allowing spiders to spawn. There aren't any obstructions to prevent them from spawning, and I was kind of worried they might get stuck on those corners there as they fell down, but that didn't seem to be the case in my testing. So then the next thing to worry about was fall damage. If they're falling off from the top there, are they going to take a ton of damage when they get down to the bottom? And the answer is, it depends how deep the water is that they land in. So I think because I'm putting all this effort into a big mob trap, I may as well get it done right. So along the bottom here, I'm going to have to make it so the water is quite deep, or there's some form of break, just so that the mobs slow down and don't take too much damage, or any damage at all, preferably, as they fall down. And the advantage to them not taking any damage at all is it makes sorting them easier, or you know, crushing them will be more consistent. None of them will die randomly, hopefully. So we'll just head over to creative mode and I'll show you this mob trap. And just show you how the redstone works, because I've built everything up here a bit, so you can't really see. Okay, so this is what's at the center, or you know, on each pad. Essentially there's a dispenser there, and when the water comes out, it goes all the way to the edge. Now there's a little quirk about this, because there's a solid block here, the water doesn't, you know, make a perfect diamond shape, but really that's not a problem at all. And then the next thing that is sort of difficult is the wiring, because I want each pad to only be 2 high before I start building the next one. And so I'll just hop over here and show you how the wiring works. Dispensers are a little bit funny, so I was kind of wondering if this was going to work properly, and it seems to. What's happening is the redstone comes in here, it goes sort of over the first dispenser, then a torch goes up into the next one, which has redstone on it, which then feeds power into this torch here, and then the pattern repeats. So then it goes over the dispenser into another one, and yeah, so on. Okay, so I set it today to show you how this thing works, because it's a bit funny how it turns on and off. So I'll flick the switch once, and you see the odd ones come on. Then I flick it again, and then the even ones come on while leaving the odd levels on. Now when I flick it again, the first ones turn off, and then turn it again, those turn off. So you need to send a pulse, essentially, and it will turn everything on. Another pulse will turn everything off. It just does it in a sort of odd way. And the other important thing to note about this kind of design is, you know, you have to make it so that none of the redstone will wash away when the water comes out. And that was one of the hard things. But the mobs would spawn on this level. So I build a pad here, and you can see that there's no redstone at this level. If we go up another 3, 1, 2, 3, so 2 for the mobs to spawn there, and do the next level, again you can see there's no redstone, but there is this torch under, but you know, there's no water which is going to flow to it. That will all be closed off like that. And here's the whole thing together. You can see there's a bunch of mobs in there. And what I was doing with some spider experiments here, so these levels here have half blocks on the roof, so they're only allowing spiders to spawn. And the corners here are permanently on, because I was just, you know, doing some testing. Now, one other thing you'll note is this is a circle around here, and there's no real way to run redstone to the middle here, where all the water is. So what I had to come up with was something that the mobs can pass through without activating it, which will send power to the middle. So what I came up with was this floating water bridge. And what that does is send water out of the dispenser, which floats over these signs, and then it triggers a bud switch here. And when it triggers the bud switch, it sends a pulse on and off. So that triggers everything to either turn on or off. So, yeah, here we go. So you could see, or maybe you heard, one fell through the water there. But of course it doesn't actually affect the signal that's being sent. And then when you cut off the water, everything turns off. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. You know, I was trying arrows and fire charges and all that, but they're too random. Or I was thinking of throwing items over as well. So an item would pop out and trigger a pressure plate. But I think mobs will be able to pick up items or something like that. So if one was falling by and he picked up the item, it could interrupt the signal. And then for the corners, I'll just need a similar dispenser set up in each corner here. And, you know, I can power them all from outside, so it'll be a little bit easier. And also, purely by accident here, I made a highly efficient slime trap. And we're going to check it out. Oh yeah. They get in, but they can't get out. One deep water is just inescapable. Okay, so, yeah, I pretty much built the mob trap. Well, the innards of it. And Hypno came over for a while, and yeah, there was a lot of issues with the water streams when I was trying to turn them on. They kept on sinking and, well, they kept on going out of sync, so one platform would be on and then all the others would be off. And the easy way to fix that is just to go up to the platform which isn't working and manually reset it by taking out the water or putting it back in or whatever. But I got this water switch thing working, so the water will flow over here into the bud switch, and the bud switch, which I didn't show you earlier, is, I don't know, it's sort of a bulky thing. There's a torch under this block here, and let's see, I'll just show you that. Yeah, so there's a torch there, the piston is there, and so then the power is coming up here, around here, into this repeater, into this block here, which is then powering this block here, and that creates the bud switch. And I use this design because, I don't know, it fits in here and it extends and retracts like I wanted it to. And so then the signal goes through here into the dispensers. So I'll just show you that in action here again. Well, not here again, but, you know, show you it again, but show you it working here. And I think that's all good. So in case you're wondering what the drop testing was in that little montage there, I was trying to find a way to not use a whole bunch of signs down here to have a floating water break. And instead, what I found is if you have the water sort of 1.5 above some half blocks, so you can see there's a solid block there, and then the water is going to be starting up here. And what you have to do is you place the water there, and you can see it just flows down. So what you have to do is add a solid block, and then it creates this water which is floating, and then some more. And now this water here is deep enough that you can jump off from pretty much any height, I think, and land here and it'll be okay. And spiders as well, they'll come down here, and I was worried they would get stuck like the items are there, and you can see they aren't moving. But actually the spiders, they just start swimming instantly and they get pushed by the stream. Yeah, I'll just go up there to check all the platforms are indeed on and synchronized, and then I'll do a drop test where I don't die. Okay, so I'm here at the uppermost level, and yeah, it all seems to be on. And one thing about this design is it's quite easy to extend vertically. So I don't know if you can tell, but right in the middle there's a wool block. So if I want to make this even taller, I can connect the redstone up, by removing that wool block and putting the redstone down, and then just carving out a few blocks here in this channel shape. And yeah, then I can just keep on going upwards. So I may do that depending on on how well this works. And yeah, you'll see if I jump down here, no damage at all, and get pushed forward fine. Oh, and it's flowing too far. So yeah, just place a bunch of dirt down here, go 2 out from each wall, and then my water will be flowing far enough in, and that's why the water is flowing too far actually. I forgot to take into account that it's actually flowing off this edge and not the edge over there. So we'll have to use some signs to stop all the water falling down here in the middle. And actually I'm a bit worried that if I start placing water back here, it's going to create infinite streams on these blocks, and then it's going to create infinite streams on these blocks. It's going to create infinite streams on these blocks in the corner, and then that will not push the mobs forward, so I'll try it out. I'll put one there. I need more buckets too. And put one there. So that creates a stream here, I think. Yeah. But what happens when I take that away? It remains the same. Yeah, is it all going to turn to source blocks where I don't want it to? I'll soon find out as I go around this corner here. Yeah, there we go. See, it's creating a what's it called? Infinite stream here. So, to prevent that from happening, what I have to do is make sure there aren't any one-wide corners, as it were. I have to keep the water far away from itself. So I have to make it... so I have to make these 2 wide corners like this. Like that. And then I can put a source block there, and one there. And then, when the streams hit each other, it won't form another source block. Okay, so now all the water streams won't be right next to each other. And I can fill in around the edges here and then knock out these dirt blocks. And I should probably make signs and all that first, but... yeah, I might do that, actually. So I can have a proper entrance for the mobs to fall into here. I'm so happy that signs stack. It really is the best thing ever. Oh, and actually, I'm going to make that a solid block. Oh no, it doesn't make a difference. I thought the sign might fall off. If it changed, like if it suddenly glitched from a half block to a upper half block. Whoops, but it seems okay. Okay, so all the mobs are going to fall into a 3x3 pit down here. And that's not going to work. Yeah, it looks pretty horrible, but it's got to be done. Okay, so now the water shouldn't flow down this 3x3 hole here. Have to cover up the ladder there. And start putting some water down. So I'm just gonna knock out this dirt. And that will be this part done. Whoops. Right, so I think I've done enough work on it for now. And the thing that's really bugging me is, what is it going to look like? Because I started out with one idea of having a sort of, I guess it would have been a UFO-shaped trap. And then it turned into this cube idea. And so what I'm thinking now is a cube which is buried in the mountain somehow. But it could be any number of things. Hypno came by, like I said, and he suggested I make it into like a big tree, like a stupidly big tree, because I can build up quite high still. So that could be the tree trunk, or it could be a giant multi-story car park. I don't know, the options are endless. Or I could just try and make it look nice, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird, because I kept on changing my mind as I was making it. And yeah, still am. But I guess this is sort of the highest point you'll ever actually see it from, really. Most of the time you'll be down here, and like even from here you can barely see it. So it was never meant to be like a really showy type thing. It's meant to be something which is sort of obscured in the landscape. So yeah, from here you can't even see it. So I might make that sort of platform shape a little bit smaller, but then if the mob trap is a lot taller, obviously you will see it from here. So I'd really like to know your thoughts on that. What could it look like? What could it be? Knowing that it could be much taller, or it could stay as it is. There's probably going to be another trap there, which is similar. Although I guess it doesn't have to be exactly the same. But yeah, just come up here for another view. Yeah, really scratching my head. Anyways, I think that's enough for this episode. I'll go into more detail about all the redstone once I have it all figured out. And, how I'm doing it around the outsides. And I'll show you the bud switch setup in more detail if you want. But the thing is, I have to go back for supplies. And once I go back, I know there's been a lot of changes on the server, and I want to show you those. Apparently, people have been working on the Nether Hub and stuff, so that it's probably looking very nice. And I got to go to the Enderman farm to get some XP and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll be doing all that next episode. But I guess that's it for now. Okay, bye-bye.